Welcome back to the channel, football fans. Barcelona are flying high after a thrilling 2-1 comeback win against Real Sociedad, and once again Marcus Rashford proved decisive with a brilliant assist for Jules Kounde. The English forward has now fired a fresh message to Manchester United and Ruben Amorim, showing just how good he can be when trusted on the big stage. Meanwhile, Robert Lewandowski scored the winner, Lamine Yamal returned with another clutch performance, and Hansi Flick's men are now preparing for a blockbuster Champions League showdown with PSG. With Alejandro Balde set to return, and PSG facing a double injury blow with Vitinha and Kvaratskhelia doubtful, all eyes are on the Estadi Olímpic Lluís Companys this Wednesday. Stay tuned because we've got all the latest updates, reactions, and what this means for Barcelona moving forward. Marcus Rashford was on hand to provide an assist for Barcelona as they came from behind to beat Real Sociedad in La Liga. Marcus Rashford once again reminded Manchester United of the quality they let slip away. While Ruben Amorim's squad suffered yet another disappointing result in the Premier League, the English forward continued to shine in Spain with Barcelona. At the Lluís Companys Olympic Stadium, Rashford played a key role in Barca's comeback win over Real Sociedad. After the visitors went ahead through Álvaro Odriozola in the 31st minute, Rashford stepped up just before halftime, delivering a pinpoint corner that Jules Kounde headed home for the equalizer. In the second half, Lamine Yamal set up Robert Lewandowski to score the winner, securing 3 crucial points and taking Barcelona back to the top of La Liga, 1 point clear of rivals Real Madrid. For Rashford, it was his 3rd assist of the season, bringing his total goal contributions to 5. It marks a remarkable turnaround for the 27-year-old, who had faced criticism earlier this season after being dropped by Hansi Flick for disciplinary reasons. Now, Rashford is joint top for goal contributions at Barcelona this season, level with Ferran Torres and Rafinha. Meanwhile, back in Manchester, Amorim's men continue to struggle, with Rafinha ironically finding the net for his first United goal in their defeat to Brentford. Barcelona defensive ace ready for PSG clash after completing training session. Having secured a 2-1 victory over Real Sociedad on Sunday evening, FC Barcelona started preparations for their next game, the highly anticipated UEFA Champions League encounter against Paris Saint-Germain. Indeed, the Blaugrana host PSG in their second league phase match in Europe on October 1st at Estadi Olímpic Lluís Companys, and started training today with an eye on the blockbuster encounter. Alejandro Balde ready for PSG. According to Sport, Alejandro Balde appears set to be included in the squad to face PSG, after having missed each of Barcelona's last 5 matches. The 21-year-old left-back has been out since the start of September due to a thigh injury he sustained in training during the international break. Balde had resumed training with the group last week, but was not rushed back for the matches against Real Oviedo or Real Sociedad. However, the La Masia defender completed another session with the group and is now in line to return to the squad for the PSG encounter on Wednesday. The fullback, who was left in the stands against Real Sociedad, trained with the substitutes from the game and others who took part in the more demanding part of the session. Lamine Yamal, Marc Casado, Eric Garcia and Ferran Torres were also involved. Goalkeeper Diego Cachen, who was on the bench against Real Sociedad after leaving the United States U20 camp, was also present. While Balde might have completed another training session and proved his readiness to return to the squad, it is unlikely he will be included in the starting 11 against PSG. Barcelona veteran star in contention for a starting role against PSG. According to an update from AS, it has come to light that Barcelona forward Robert Lewandowski is in line to start the upcoming UEFA Champions League tie against Paris Saint-Germain. Lewandowski's role under Hansi Flick has been a topic of constant discussion this season, with physical setbacks and the strong form of Ferran Torres often limiting his place in the starting 11. However, the veteran striker reminded everyone of his value in the recent 2-1 win over Real Sociedad. Starting the match, he scored the winning goal, showing that he can still be decisive in the biggest moments. Remarkably, it was his first goal as a starter this season. Before that, his 4 La Liga goals had all come off the bench, 2 against Valencia, 1 against Oviedo with a brilliant header and another in league play. Tough outing against Sociedad. Lewandowski could easily have doubled his tally against Real Sociedad, but he missed what looked like one of the easiest chances of his career, firing over the bar from close range. Even so, his overall contribution showed signs that he is regaining sharpness just in time for Barcelona's crucial Champions League fixture. Real Sociedad's strategy revolved around shutting him out of the game. They crowded the central areas, kept him isolated from his teammates, and forced him into just 39 touches across the match. The constant attention from their centre-backs limited his movement and impact. More space against PSG. Against PSG, though, the dynamics will be very different. The French champions are unlikely to sit deep with a defensive block, meaning Lewandowski should enjoy more space to roam, link up with his attacking partners, and use his instinct inside the box. With Flick weighing up his options, the Polish striker has a strong chance of leading the line in Paris as Barcelona look to make a statement in Europe. Barcelona handed huge boost ahead of PSG showdown. Barcelona have been given a timely lift ahead of their blockbuster Champions League clash with holders Paris Saint-Germain this Wednesday. PSG stars Vitinha and Khvicha Kvaratskhelia both picked up injuries during their weekend victory over Auxerre, casting serious doubt over their availability for the trip to Catalonia. While Luis Enrique's side remain top of League One thanks to that 2-0 win, the injuries could prove costly as they prepare for one of their toughest tests of the season. For Barcelona, the timing couldn't be better. Hansi Flick's team go into the clash in strong spirits after coming from behind to beat Real Sociedad 2-1 in their Champions League opener at the Estadi Olímpic Lluís Companys. That night also marked the much-anticipated return of Lamine Yamal, who had been sidelined since August. The youngster's comeback, coupled with doubts over two of PSG's most dangerous players, provides a significant boost for the Catalans as they look to defend their unbeaten home record in Europe from last season. Barcelona are not alone in their injury struggles, however. PSG could potentially be without 7 players that started the Champions League final last May in their trip to Spain, something Enrique believes casts a cloud over the matchup. Luis Enrique gives verdict over injury-filled Barcelona versus PSG clash. Watching a game between Barcelona and Paris Saint-Germain with 5 or 6 important players, from both teams, not playing. To me it's a shame for the manager, Flick, and for fans of both teams, Enrique said. Speaking specifically about Vitinha and Kvaratskhelia, Enrique detailed that PSG would have to wait for news of their availability for the trip to Barcelona. We need to wait for the medical staff to tell us tomorrow or the day after what kind of injuries they have, Enrique said. We have to stay positive because we need to be able to manage this situation. Paris Saint-Germain are not the only team with injuries. It is the case for every team with such an intense calendar. Many predicted Barcelona and PSG were bound to face each other in the Champions League final a season ago. Ever since the 2025-26 league phase draw, this was penciled in as one of the most anticipated matches of the opening phase of the Champions League. Barcelona. Player status. Joan Garcia out. Rafinha out. Fermin Lopez out. Gavi out. Marc-Andre ter Stegen out. Alejandro Balde doubtful. Paris Saint-Germain. Player status. Ousmane Dembélé out. Desire Doué out. Marquinhos out. Fabian Ruiz doubtful. João Neves doubtful. Khvicha Kvaratskhelia doubtful. Vitinha doubtful. So, Barcelona climb back to the top of La Liga. Rashford continues to shine in Spain, and Hansi Flick's team is showing fight just in time for their biggest test of the season against PSG. With injury concerns on both sides and stars like Lewandowski, Pedri, and Lamine Yamal stepping up, this clash promises fireworks. Do you think Rashford should stay at Barcelona permanently? And can the Catalans beat the reigning European champions? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Barcelona and Champions League updates.